This is Times Drive and I'm Joel Pereira. Now you might not know this, but back in 1999, people building SUVs always concentrated on the off-roading, mud-plugging aspects of it. But people driving them, with the exception of maybe Chuck Norris, use them to maybe go shopping or drop the kids at school. Now the thing is, BMW looked at the situation and thought to itself, if everyone's using their SUVs out on the road, why not build the best road-going SUV? What they came up with was this, the X5. And that's exactly what they did. The hallmark of the X5 sports activity vehicle has always been great on-road performance and drivability. And now, 15 years and 3 generations later, that's what it still is. The new X5 is BMW's way of saying, let's do more. So in typical German fashion, they've gone bigger. It's 30 centimeters longer and 5 centimeters wider. It's also more brutal. If you compare this car to the outgoing model, the previous version was quite stylish. This one's a little more SUV. Now this is an SUV in India, so there can be only one proper engine option and no real relevant choices. What you've got under the hood is a 3-litre twin-scroll turbo diesel that seems to be BMW's diesel marquee engine. Right, so down to specifics. You've got 258 bhp of power, but a staggering 560 newtons of torque. That's accessible from as low as 1500 RPMs. What that also means is that you're going to get just a hair's breadth worth of turbo lag. And if you do set your foot down on the throttle pedal in anger, you're going to get all that power almost instantaneously. Also, considering that this is a super luxury SUV, all this happens with very little drama at all. Just a slight bit of tremble as the power builds and then boom. Now from the outside, this car does look like it needs a turret and a rifled cannon. But then if you do firewall the X5 from standstill, you're rocketing to about 100 in 7.5 seconds, which is seriously quick, especially for a car this size, and I'd imagine terrifying to look at from the outside. Top speed is about 230 kilometers to the hour, and despite all that thunder and lightning, cruising around in the city will get you a mileage of about 9.5 kilometers to the litre, going up to about 15 while cruising on the highway. Now, helping that decent mileage are systems like Start Stop, Brake Energy Regeneration and the Eco Pro mode, which manages the climate control and the gear shift point to squeeze every last bit of energy from that litre of diesel. And speaking of transmission, it gets a boost too. The new X5 comes with the 8-speed gearbox, which I quite love. 8 gears with tightly packed ratios make this car ride that wave of torque almost constantly. Gears shift so quickly and seamlessly that the driver really gets lost in the gearscape. There's also a paddle shifter, but then gears upshift and downshift so efficiently that you very rarely find yourself needing it. You've got 4 transmission modes. There's the Eco Pro, Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Now we often speak of these modes when driving cars like these, and here's what they do. Now depending on what mode you're in, your steering response changes. Traction control switches on or off, the gearbox shift quicker or almost redlines every gear for power max. And that makes a huge difference to the dynamics of the drive.
And then I lost it again. I know I'll get it back, it's just a question of when.
Now one of the hallmarks of the BMW luxury driving experience is that comfort and style don't come at the expense of handling, and the X5 delivers and delivers hard. Like we said earlier, this car might seem pretty huge, but actually feels like driving quite a smaller car. It feels light and agile. BMW have managed to split the weight 50-50 over both axles, which makes this car feel really balanced. If you feel like it, you can swing the X5 around, like for fun. The car will let you do whatever you want till sheer physics comes in and tells you to calm down. Now the X5 does come with air suspension as standard, and it does take a little time to get used to it because now it does feel a little floaty and ship-like if the road is undulating, but switching to sports mode, especially out on the highway, sorted you out. Our roads are pretty dire, and yet I guess the sheer weight and super massive 21-inch tires, which is what this car is riding on, basically ground everything out, though the wheels did seem like a bit of an overkill. You're going to be fine with the standard 18 inches. So performance gets a boost, and all new transmission comes in too. Ride and handling get improved a slight bit, but from the outside it doesn't look like nothing much has changed. True, it does look very familiar to the outgoing X5, but then you have to look closer. Considering that this is an evolutionary change, the exteriors look quite similar to the outgoing X5, but the biggest change has come in the front end. Oddly enough, now the front end of the X5 looks very similar to the X3, with the kidney grille and newly designed air dams. There isn't too much change with the interiors as well. They haven't strayed far away from the standard BMW black and tan design, but there is a feeling of familiarity here. Everything is where it should be: the color display, the 2-zone climate control, and moving further down, the iDrive rotary wheel. Also featured is the starter button, the glowing orange dials, and the 8-speaker stereo. There's a decent bit of safety here too: 6 airbags, traction and stability control, ABS, and brake assist. Another place where the new X5 outdoes the old is size. This car is wider and longer than the previous version, and that translates into a lot of space for everyone. Seating 5 comfortably with plenty of room for luggage and the family dog. Build quality too is perfect, with everything closing and opening with the right amount of gravitas. Where does this car let you down? Quite honestly, I can't really tell. The only issue I had was with the floaty suspension when the car's in comfort mode and the sameness of the interiors, but again, these are subjective criticisms. And many of you will be dazzled by the way this car feels when you drive it. Now, should you decide to get one, you're putting down 70.9 lakhs ex-showroom. But do yourself a favor and don't get a driver. This car begs to be driven.